Hi, my name is Ken Caldwell. This is Mike Nager. We're with Festo Didactic. We are at the Festo Regional Service Center in Mason, Ohio. This is where a lot of our didactic equipment is commissioned and ready to send to our customers throughout North America. We're here today to explain the semiconductor system that Festo Didactic has recently introduced. I just want to take a few minutes to explain this system in greater detail.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. So as you can see behind us, we have a clean room set up. This clean room is specifically designed to go into classrooms and colleges and universities anywhere in the US that needs to teach semiconductor or electronics manufacturing. So it is a functional clean room, and we're going to get inside in a few moments. But before we do that, let's talk about a little bit of the philosophy we have in the semiconductor training and education space. So if you join me over here, I'd like to show you how we've designed our system. So this is a presentation that I did at Semicon West in 2023. And what it's showing on the left-hand side is how the semiconductor industry sees how smart manufacturing is going to progress. And it's using data at every step of the way to be able to determine how to best produce products that are of high quality and of a high throughput. So at the bottom, it's acquiring data through sensors and other technologies, and that goes up the chain in the pyramid to the very top, where you can actually start to predict what's going to happen inside the factory before events happen, so that you can assure great probability of success. We've taken this roadmap, this vision of the smart factory of the future, and we've applied it to the training systems that we've developed for colleges, universities, high schools, and training centers. And these systems are built with all this philosophy of smart manufacturing in mind. So it is using tons of data, tons of sensors and controllers to be a very smart outfit. In addition to that, these training systems are linked to certification program, most importantly, NC3, the National Coalition of Certification Centers. So students that are learning from the basic level all the way up to the advanced level also have corresponding credentials that go along with it outside of the individual school's degree program. So we feel that this is very, very important. And what we're going to talk about when we go inside our clean room is what we consider a learning factory. So a learning factory is a holistic educational method that shrinks down a production facility into the size that will fit into a classroom. We've sold many of these all around the world. We'll give you links later in the feed about some videos where you can go see either Humber College, Northeastern University, or West Virginia University systems in action, the learning factory. So Ken, if you help me turn this around. Let's talk a little bit about the skills and the exact things that students will learn. So when we develop this system, we realize that there's going to be a lot of different people that have to interface with it. And as an educational facility, you don't know where in the industry your students will work. They could either be working on the product itself, the wafers and the chips. They could be working on the equipment, keeping it up and running, or even designing it. Or they could be working in the facilities department, where they're responsible for keeping the clean room in the entire building up and running. If we take a look at the job roles, depending on what your program is, you could be training for either operators, technicians, or engineers. And if you look at the skill sets for these, they can differ. So under the product side, the engineers are looking at process development, whereas the technicians would be looking to be testing the final product to make sure it meets the criteria. And finally, the operators are going to be handling the product on a day-to-day basis. These are all different skill sets. And then if we look at the other two, the equipment and the facilities, they also have different requirements. So the engineer will be interested in specifying the equipment that's needed for the facility, whereas the technician is more oriented towards troubleshooting and calibrating it. And finally, if we look at the clean room itself, there is also other areas of expertise. So the challenge is, how do you design a system that can be used for all of these different job roles and job locations? So as you can see, between us, we looked at the common skills that are required for an effective training program. And the very first one, of course, is safety. People have to be safe, and we need a safe operation or nothing can happen. So that is a common skill. Knowing how to operate and work inside a clean room is a common skill. And as we go down this list, these are the areas that we really focused in on to be able to have an effective training program that will meet the needs of the broadest range of professionals entering the industry. Okay, so we've taken a mechatronics industry 4.0 approach that we saw on the poster on the other side, and we've incorporated into this training program. So on our next video, we'll go inside. See you there.